Hello everybody, it's Ginger on Wheels here again. Thanks for stopping by the channel where we get to test and unbox the latest electrically wheeled gadgets. Today, thanks to Voromotors, we have got this scooter behind me here. It's called the Kaabo Mantis Pro 10 SE, that stands for Special Edition. It's got a bunch of exciting new features, and today I want to go ahead and do a walk around and we'll get to some ride footage. So let's roll the intro. Okay, so starting at the top of the scooter, let's do a quick walk around and then we'll hop on this thing and ride. This looks like the grips. They're made of foam. They do twist a little bit, but they're held on with these caps on the end. They say Mantis, pretty cool. Got the Eco Turbo and single dual buttons. These are nice and clicky and they're waterproof, pretty rigid. This is for switching between single and dual motor mode while you're riding. And it's also obviously got Eco and Turbo if you want to go super fast. But this throttle display for mini motors, it's really easy to see in the daylight, and it has 3 speed modes in itself. So I guess altogether you get 12 speed modes, if you count the Eco Turbo dual single, plus these 3. It's got a % battery readout, which a lot of the other displays don't have. They just show you 1 out of 5 bars or 5 out of 5 bars. I really like this display. Of all the displays I've used, this is definitely my favorite. Got this piece here. This comes out for folding the scooter. You can actually fold the stem down and it latches in the back there. But when you push it in, it doesn't move anywhere, so I like this thing. It's a nice idea. This button right here is for the lights, and when the scooter is on and you push this thing, you get 2 front runner lights in the bottom of the scooter, and there's also some blue LEDs on the bottom that are just like the Kaabo Wolf Warrior. You can't really see them right now because it's daylight out, but if you check out my unboxing video, which I'll link up here, then you can get a better look at those. So the brakes that are on this thing are full hydraulic. This is one of the upgrades that they did on the scooter. They're the same brakes that are on the Kaabo Wolf Warrior, and this thing weighs 40 pounds less, so I imagine it just has an insane amount of stopping power. We're gonna have to test that out. It's really icy out today. Probably not the best idea, but you know, you only live once. Coming down the stem, it's a nice thick stem tube, and there's no writing on it, just flat black. This latch piece here is the dual latch. It looks like the same style of latch that's on the 11X, except there's just 1 stem tube instead of 2 like that scooter. But this thing looks really thick and hefty. It's not gonna go anywhere at all. I've got it tightened down really well. But this piece right here is the stem tube. I guess they're having problems with this snapping off while people were riding on the original Mantis. And I had said that I was never gonna ride a Mantis because of that, but here we are. Upgraded stem piece. I've been assured that this is not gonna break at all. So I have full confidence in Voromotors when they say that. The swing arm right here, it's got the awesome gold painted forks, and it's painted gold on both sides, on the front and the back. This is the front fender here. And the brakes, I believe these are 140 millimeter rotors. They're slotted, so they're not gonna overheat, and they've got insane stopping power thanks to these calipers. The tires I've got on it right now, these are street tires, and they're 2.5 inches wide. I definitely plan on off-roading this thing. Okay, so let's talk about this suspension for a bit. As you can see, the coils are like squared and they're pretty close together. So that makes this suspension a lot more rigid. It's not like the 010X suspension where it's really floaty. This suspension, I think, is tuned for high-speed riding, because that's the last thing you want when you're high speed, is like floating around. It's really bad for top speed control. And for me also, I just like more rigid suspension off-road. It helps me pop the scooter up and do like really technical stuff off-road. So I'm excited to take this thing off-roading. It's nice and clean right now, but I don't plan on keeping it that way. So I don't know if you can see or not, but that's the front runner light on that side and that side. But those come on when you hit that light button on the top, and you also get this LED strip right here. Ooh, it says Kaabo on the side. You could take that off if you wanted to, but I like it, I'll keep it on. So in the back, when you turn on the lights, you also get these rear like tail lights, and they flash when you hit the brakes. But this is just for visibility for other people to see you. The only downside to this scooter is it doesn't have a front headlight. There's nothing on the front there, on the top. So you're definitely, if you want to do some night riding or off-roading, you're gonna have to get an auxiliary light to mount on the top of the bars there. If you're interested, I have one at home that I know works. I can link that in the description below. And that's the kickstand there. This thing is nicely mounted it's not in the middle, so the scooter's not gonna fall over front and back, but rear centrally located, I guess you'd say. It doesn't fall over like the 10X, which I think this kickstand's mounted closer back here. And with that 10X, you gotta be really careful because that scooter loves to fall over. Oh, the scooter just turned off from inactivity. Maybe that means I'm talking too much. I'll just show you one last thing. This is the charge port down here. You can plug in your charger here and charge the scooter up. and a nice plastic cover on it. And this thing is a pretty small battery. It's a Samsung battery, but it's 18.2 amp hours. The Wolf Warrior has, I think, 35 amp hour or 32 amp hour. So this thing's not gonna be like a specialty range scooter. It's probably not gonna get very far, but it has an insane amount of torque. It's got 1,000-watt motors in the front and rear. And the Wolf Warrior has, I think, 1,200 watt. It's a little less power, and the scooter weighs 40 pounds less. I'm excited to put it in Speed 3 turbo mode. All right, that's enough talking. I'm just gonna hop on the thing and let's ride. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Okay, I've got the Draggy reset. Got my nice cell phone holder on here. This thing will hold just about any phone on any scooter. I'll link that in the description below, but we're in the turbo mode, dual mode, Speed 3. All the settings are maxed. Let's just go ahead and see how fast this thing will accelerate. Put my job piece down on the helmet. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, we got some burnout on the front tire there. It's gonna affect it. Crouch down, get more aerodynamic. God, this thing feels fast. That felt like top speed. For the record, I weigh about 200-ish pounds, maybe 205 with my gear. I'll go ahead and try it again going the other way. Okay, I reset the Draggy. We're gonna try it again. 1, 2, 3, go. It's hard to get on this thing without burning out the front tire. It looks like you got to 33 miles an hour again. Whew. The initial acceleration is pretty insane, but levels out pretty quick. Looks like this time we got there in 15.48 seconds, so a little bit quicker. But top speed for me is 33 miles an hour. I might have to do it again in another video where I have completely full charge. I had ridden about a mile when I started this, and we're down to 62.7 volts. Okay, so now that we've verified the scooter goes 33 miles an hour with me on it, let's just do some cruising. Test the brakes. Woo. Just off the line, this thing just goes. Suspension is much more rigid than the 010X. Feels a lot like the Wolf, if I'm being perfectly honest. I can definitely make that light. Yeah, I quite like this suspension. Gives you a lot more control. It's a lot more responsive than the springier scooters. Doink. Oh yeah, that's nice. Sweet. It might just be because it's new. Getting icy around here. Oh God, can you hear the front tire? Oh boy. Yeah, you can't keep that thing on the ground. It's too icy here. Let me put it in single mode. Now we just get shrimpy beans. And riding scooters when it's icy is dangerous. I definitely recommend single motor mode if you're not out trying to do something totally extreme. Because if you have both tires spinning and you slip out on the ice, there's pretty much no saving it. Whereas if you're in single motor mode, the rear wheel will spin out, but you can counter steer with the front wheel because that still has traction, hopefully. The bar height on this thing feels a little bit taller than the Wolf Warrior. I might be mistaken on that, but I'm talking deck to bar height. If I'm jumping on this thing, I can see the bars coming into my chest, like on big jumps. I love having this foot brace to put my foot on in the back. You don't get that with the eMove Cruiser and pretty much any of the lower end scooters. But when you get into higher end dual motor scooters and you get that foot brace in the back, it's a lot more reassuring at speed, or if you're doing any jumps or tricks or anything. Like even if I just want to jump this speed bump, which I would do. Nice. Yeah, suspension absorbed a lot of that fast impact of the shock of the speed bump. It feels really nice. I wish I could take this thing off-road, but I know it's just going to be super muddy. I'll save that for another video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to watch me rip it up off-road on this thing. You can go. Yeah, let's go over here. Ooh, look at those mountains back there. I got some snow. A lot more than here. God, it's cold. If I didn't have my heated vest and these gloves, I would be freezing right now. It's probably about 40 degrees. Gotta go nice and slow around the corners so I don't peel out on the ice. Oh man, the brakes. Even on this icy-ish wet road, if you hit the front and rear brakes, there's no skidding out the front brakes, they just stop you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, on the wet roads, it's basically impossible to keep the front tire from spinning. It's so skinny and there's just so much power going to it. You have to be like leaned over the bars to prevent them from spinning, and if you're just mounting the scooter, it's really hard to do that. So from a stop, yeah, that's hard. Skidding the tires on the rear when I stop and skidding them in the front when I accelerate. Whew. It's a workout. I'm getting warm. It's the most fun way to stay warm in the cold. Just ride your scooter really hard. Okay, I do know of a really steep downhill trail. Dare I take the scooter down it? I say yes. I'm just gonna do it. Down this slight downhill, we got it up to 34. Still topping out around 33 though on the flats. Down to 60 volts already from 67, and I've probably only gone a few miles. The cold weather is definitely not helping. It's just sucking all the battery right out of there. It's a shame. I'll probably just have enough battery to go down this hill and then back up, but let me show you where it is. Super top secret. I'm feeling very comfortable though, pretty confident on this scooter. It's not like the eMove. That thing gets a bit squirrely at higher speeds. Oh, we got the street tires. I don't know if we can do it. Look how swampy this is. You can actually see the motor steaming right now. It's that hot. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to go through that. This is some straight up Wolf Warrior turf. Look at that. We have to go down to a less muddy spot. Let's try over here. Gotta be very careful. Yep, spinning the tires. Spinning the tires. Ice and mud on the off-road with the street tires, this is not a good idea. And they're only 2.5 inches. I'm hoping it'll be better once I get on the trail, but I don't know why really. Okay. Let's try this on for size. You know, I think the front suspension on this scooter handles better than the Wolf Warrior off-road. The rear tire feels about the same, but I'm used to having to pop the front tire up off the ground over obstacles on the Wolf, and then the rear tire will bounce over them. But the front tire on this scooter, I've been doing that, and I don't know why. I've just hit a couple bumps, and it feels like it just absorbs the impact really well. I think it's that swing arm design compared to the motorcycle hydraulic shock thing on the Wolf. Bounce over that. Not the smartest thing I've ever done, ripping down the trails with street tires in the mud. Yeah, let's keep going down. Might be better to go with single motor mode in this turf. It's like I was talking about earlier, if you lose control, you really only lose it on the rear wheel. Oh, I did it again. I'm hopping the front tire off the ground. I don't know why. Instinct from riding the Wolf around. Don't need to do that with this scooter. Do I like the suspension on this scooter more than the Wolf? I might. Maneuverability wise, it feels about the same though, which is odd because the Wolf is so much heavier. We survived. Nice. Ooh, baby. Your hands get tired on doing stuff like that. Let's see how much these fenders helped us. Still getting pretty muddy. And in the front here, look at all that splashback. It needs a fender in the rear part of the tire here, but it doesn't have one. I have to give this baby a little sponge bath when we get home. And this is that front mud I was telling you about. If the fender were just a little longer, we wouldn't have any of this and any of that. I got some mud in the brakes though, they still work really well. For the record, the scooter does have 5 modes of regen braking, 5 different levels, and you can also turn the EBS function on or off, which basically pulses the regen brakes. It just makes the scooter go when it's coming to a stop. It doesn't act like ABS in the car. It's called EBS, which is electronic braking systems. Got a runny nose. Freaking freezing cold out. I got so lucky with the weather today. This is a really comfortable scooter just for cruising. It's like a high-speed cruiser. It's not like the eMove cruiser. If you were going on the eMove this fast, things get a bit squirrely. You can comfortably cruise on this scooter around 25 miles an hour with no real scariness. But at the eMove, I think that's top speed, or above top speed on the eMove. On the Wolf Warrior, you can pretty much cruise at top speed on that, around 40 miles an hour or so. Actually, I think my Wolf Warrior goes 44. I got it up to 55 once down a hill. I've got that on video. I'll link that up here in case you want to watch. Super fun video. Okay, sorry car, ain't nobody got time for this. Yeah, this thing can cruise pretty comfortably right now. What are we at, 30 miles an hour? The scooter is still, I still feel really in control of this scooter, even at top speed. Very manageable. Down to 53 volts at the top speed there though. That's just about cut off. I think the cutoff's 52, so that's gonna be it for the top speed cruising. I guess I'm just gonna have to limp this thing home. When it gets warmer and we have more range, this thing will be a lot more fun to ride around, but that's not gonna be a couple months from now. Well, that was a fun ride. I'm gonna go slower, gonna go single motor on the way home. Take it easy, because I don't wanna kill the battery. Looks like in single motor mode, I got 56 volts left, so still pretty good. Now let's cross the street here. Ooh, I like the turning radius on this thing. Check out the turning radius. That's nice. Insanely good turning radius. Okay, I'm gonna call this the conclusion of my first impressions video. We got about probably 10 or 12 miles on the scooter, and I think the battery mostly just got crushed by the cold. It's freezing cold. It's probably like 35 degrees right now. But I really like the scooter. I feel like it's priced really well. I love the suspension and the brakes. The tires, maybe opt for some off-road tires or wider tires if you can. I know they make wider ones. I think this scooter would definitely benefit from those. It has insane power off the line with the two 1,000 watt motors, and the top speed, we got 33 miles an hour on the flat, and I think I hit 35 down a hill. But again, I'm 200 pounds. We did get the scooter pretty muddy here. So if you get the scooter, I would definitely recommend opting for wider tires and get that rear tire hugger if you plan on riding it in the wet, because look at this. That's my backpack. I love how tall the bars are and how wide they are. The trigger feel on the throttle is really nice. These brakes they're the best brakes around, I guess. I haven't tried a scooter with any other better brakes. The Wolf and this scooter are definitely top notch. I was worried, given that this is a Mantis and people have broken their stem off, that I was gonna have at least some stem wiggle or wobble or something, but this thing is rock solid. I was really pulling on it when I was doing that off-road section too. I shouldn't have been, but I was. You can see the front tire here, room for improvement, definitely. Gonna have to give this thing a nice sponge bath when I get home. Got the nice gold all dirty, didn't I? I like the kickstand, and I really like this metal foot plate in the back. There's very few scooters that actually have that. It's mostly reserved for the higher end dual motor scooters, but much more confidence at speed with this. That combined with the really stiff suspension and the wide handlebars, and definitely super comfortable, very confident at high speed. I like the deck actually. The grip tape on the deck, or not grip tape, the silicone mat is pretty grippy even though it's just rubber. I think it's got, like, if you can see really close, it's got little bumps in it, and it meshes really well with the grip on my boots. Another definite con this scooter has got is the battery life. It's short. Definitely room for improvement there, but I can't see, like, if you're going to increase the battery, it's going to jack the price way up and the weight way up. So they hit a good middle point with it, I think. Overall, I really like the scooter though. I plan on taking it on some insane off-road jumps and doing some longer cruises with it, some range testing and things. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.